leader, which is La Spezia at the moment. Flying Nostra trying to get off the deck, but La Spezia broke away and it peached from Coffee in the end, won by 2.5.
Pantera Nera, they quickly get to a phonic. Chapter guys bursting onto the scene. All Tiara Pantera Nera. Pantera Nera on the outside, goes up and gets there.
Yeah, James said last week we're hoping to have a pretty good week this week, and we certainly did. I thought the two winners were very good. La Spezia, I thought she won very easily the other day. She just struggled. So when she hit the front, she didn't know what to do. So a lot of upside to her. So I'm not really sure where we'll head with her, but she probably is worthwhile having a crack at a nice sort of 3-year-old fillies race at some stage. Where that is, I'm not sure. Just might even throw her in the deep end next week and run her in a really strong race and just sort of see where she's at. This bloke here, Pantera Nera, he got back to the winner's circle. There's been a long time between drinks for him, but he's been this preparation's been going really well, and just needed to win a race. And I thought he got ridden very good from Jake. He gave every chance and come right down the outside, and he was very strong go to the line. I just think he's probably one of those fresh sort of horses. His first up form's pretty good, and he's those sort of nice fresh training, nice and fresh, and run him over a mile rather than sort of getting into 2000 as being a little bit one pace. So he's still eligible to sort of run in restricted grade races, this horse, so he might be able to sort of win another race, so we just place him right next start. Okay, runners this week. Actually, horse just there, Smoking Soldier. He'll probably get his start. The poor bugger the other day. I've had some jockeys come up with excuses, but Dean Holland rode him. He jumped out and went back his very first start, got him behind him, and a big clod hit him right between the legs, and he couldn't breathe. The poor bugger. He ended up just pulling the horse up. I think the horse got beaten about 20 lengths or something. But the poor jockey come back, had to have the ambulance look at him and everything after the race. But yeah, it's another excuse there. I've had some excuses for horses getting beaten, but never that the jockey got hit between the legs. So he'll go more or less first up at Terang in a 1400 metre maiden. Probably just ride him quiet and have him hitting the line and see how he goes. But yeah, the poor bugger, he got beaten 20 lengths last start, and I was shaking my head, didn't know what was going on. Hums, he went to stall the other day. He was very brave. We're just experimenting with him to try and see if he'll run the 1200 metres. His 1000 metre form's very good. 1200 not so much. So we're just going to. He was very strong at the line, carrying a big weight last start over the 1100. Goes up to the 1200, and that'll probably tell us a little bit. We were going to try and run him over the Warrnambool Carnival. If he can happen to be really competitive in a 1200 that's on Sunday at Terang, we might then run him in another 1200 at over the Warrnambool Carnival. If not, there's a nice 1100 metre race over the carnival, so both those two will go to Terang on Sunday. Okay, Echuca Monday. I've got a Vader in up there. She raced at Werribee the other day and it was just terrible and so below what she can sort of run. So I'm going to give her a gallop on Friday. If she works up okay Friday, we might go to Echuca with her, looking for a dry track. She just the only thing I can put it down to was quite a rain-affected track at Werribee the other day, and she just raced terrible. So we'll get her back up on top of the ground. Echuca looks a pretty obvious sort of choice with her. If not, they'll probably have to go to Wangaratta the following week. Okay, Tuesday we're back at the races at Geelong. They've got a brand new track there. We trialled on it the other day and it seemed to trial up okay. So their first race meeting back is at Geelong on Tuesday. I'll probably have 3 runners there. Grandma Gale, probably looking at maybe taking her for a nice race at Warrnambool. So I want to give her either a trial or a race. So we'll just take her to the races. There's a nice little 1100 metre fillies and mares 64 that she can go to at Geelong. She'll probably land just off the speed and be hitting the line nice and hard. She's nice and sharp, that filly at the moment. So I'm keen to sort of get her to the races. What else we got? We've got Mauser. Now Mauser got ridden sort of against sort of riding instructions the other day and got a long way back and worked home pretty strong, but I don't train that horse to sort of sit and sprint. He's more of a grinder, so I want to sort of bounce him out in a 1500 metre race at Geelong on Tuesday and ride him to the first 4, and then he'll be sort of right around about the mark. I'm probably just a bit disappointed. You know, he was about 6 or 8 lengths off the lead at one stage and only got beaten a couple, so I thought he went pretty good first up without sort of ever being really competitive in the race, so he'll get ridden a fair bit differently this week. Run a really nice 3-year-old filly called Inyangani. A little homebred of Mike Palmer's, a beautiful, absolute beautiful filly. You won't see a nicer type horse at the races on Tuesday. there's a nice 1700 metre race over the Warrnambool Carnival I'd like to get her to. So it was either trial her again on Monday or take her to the races. And I just think we're probably going to get more out of taking her to the races. So there's a nice 1400 metre 3-year-old maiden there. They'll be too fast for her in that race, but she'll get back and she'll be working home really strong and then go to a 1700 second up, which will be ideal for her. I think she's a genuine 2000, maybe even a 2400 metre 3-year-old filly. She just needs to get to the races. But she'll head there. We'll ride her off to speed and have her hitting the line. Trialled up beautifully on last week, so really high quality filly, keen to get her to the races. Wednesday, Bendigo, we've got Chestorius. Now, he got ridden out the back the other day and sort of worked home okay. I'm going to punch him out and put him into the race this week, put an aggressive rider on him. If he can sort of settle midfield or a bit closer, he'll be all over this sort of race. He'll be a bit massive price, and he'll run well above what his price says to us. He's going pretty good, the horse. He's had 3 starts now, and it's been all about educating the horse, and now he's ready to go. So 2400 metre maiden, he'll be all over that sort of race, and expect him to run a really forward race on Wednesday at Bendigo. Got a little La Spezia in. I'm not sure. I've got her in a benchmark 70 2400 metre race. Now, that's jumping about 5 grades to what she won the other day. But if she can run the 2400, it sort of opens up a big thing to maybe even look at taking her to Adelaide in one of the South Australian Classics or something. It's either that or I run her in a benchmark 58 and let her carry 62 kilos, which I'm not all that keen to do. So it's not so much about winning on Wednesday with her. It's more about how she goes running the trip, and if she's competitive in that, she'll go to Adelaide and be more than competitive and back into 3-year-old fillies grade.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week we're going to look at a horse who's had almost a year off. He was a really consistent horse to the stable. He's always on speed, sort of toughing out the finish, and but unfortunately in his last prep, he won first up, which was really good at Colac. He ran second to Epic Grey at Werribee. He only just got beat there, and it went on to compete at Open 955 races in town. But after that, he pretty much broke his foot. Horses have got a bone in their foot called their pedal bone, and he smashed that galloping. Obviously, you can't put horses in crutches, and it's one of those injuries that it's a bit sort of ominous whether they'll come back, never mind to racing, but even just being paddock sound. But a special credit to, firstly, his owner, Brian McCain, who's looked after him exceptionally well at home, and he's taken every precaution to get his horse back to racing, as well as Andrew Long, who's had to design special shoes to make him as comfortable as he can. Our vets at Bowen Equine, they've done a super job and point out both Andrew and Brian in the right direction as the best recovery for him. He's been back in work about 4 weeks, and certainly all signs point towards that he'll make a full recovery, but everything's just got to be nice and slow with him. He's such an aggressive going horse. It's probably the reason why he did do his injury, but it's sort of the thing that makes him such a competitive and tough racehorse, but it's also, as far as coming back from an injury such as a broken pedal bone, it does make life a little bit more difficult because he just does everything at 100 mile an hour. But everything at the moment is going really well. He's just sort of having a few sort of quiet weeks. We'll probably crank up his work next week, but all signs at the moment point towards that he's going to make a full recovery, which is really exciting for sort of one of the more consistent horses in the stable.
That's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Yes, I'll take all the jokes, all the Collingwood jokes. I had my tooth knocked out the other day by a horse, so I'm probably a couple of weeks off getting that fixed up. So there is no joke that I haven't heard, so go your hardest. But anyway, we'll get that all fixed up next week. Geelong Racing's back this Tuesday, so that's pretty good. They've been a long time off. They've actually missed a couple of meetings because they haven't been able to grow the grass quick enough. So hopefully, we trialled it on a Monday. It was trialled up pretty good, so that was good. So I think the track should race pretty good on Tuesday. A couple of winners last week was good. A couple of nice sort of horses racing this week. I think a couple of nice young horses that are going to run first up this week that are certainly worthwhile following. And of course, we're heading off to the Warrnambool Carnival in the next few weeks. So plenty happening, and pretty keen to sort of see where we're going in the next couple of weeks. Certainly a couple of first starters. Until next week, see you later. Okay, she'll go to Echuca on Monday. Oh dear. I'm just giving you material now, aren't I?